Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to explain you what is Practicum and how B.Ed is different from PGCE. So let's get started. So Bachelor's of Education or B.Ed is usually undergraduate degree with 3 to 4 years of duration, but in South Asian countries it is usually for 1 year, 1.5 years as well. So yeah, it is somewhere from 1 year till 4 years of duration, and usually it is focusing on the foundational teaching theories, basic teaching pedagogies, and introduction to practicum. It is geared towards early career teachers or those without prior degrees. Now, if we talk about PGCE, PGCE is postgraduate qualification. Usually, it is 1 year duration. It requires a prior bachelor's degree. It focuses on advanced teaching methods, subject specialization, and substantial practicum. Now, I know some of you are posting queries on my YouTube channel that you got your NZQA outcome on your B.Ed and the level that you got is 6. And as you know, to teach in New Zealand in the teaching degree, the NZQA level should be 7. So most of the time when you get level 6, the main problem is either the subjects that they are teaching in B.Ed are not aligning to the subject requirements to be taught in the teaching degree program in New Zealand, or the main thing is practicum. You don't have a sufficient evidence of practicum in your transcript or degree. Now let's talk about the practicum. What practicum exactly is. So it will give you an idea if you have done something similar to the practicum in your teaching qualification or not. So let's see. So practicum is the hands-on in-school teaching experience that is essential for bridging educational theory with real classroom practice. So practicum is basically hands-on teaching in the school for new teachers. Now I know most of the teachers from South Asian countries, they do little bit teaching while doing B.Ed or M.Ed. Let's see the way you teach during your B.Ed and M.Ed during your induction period is same the way you teach in practicum or not. If we talk about the purpose of practicum, it provides teacher trainees with supervised opportunities to develop practical teaching skills, classroom management, lesson delivery, reflective practice under the guidance of experienced teachers. The key components of practicum in New Zealand. So in New Zealand, or whether you are planning to move to Australia or any country, you will have to show that you have done a teaching qualification with a proper practicum. So in your practicum, the key components are multiple school placements to gain diverse teaching experience and structured supervision with mentorship from experienced teachers and assessment based on New Zealand's Teaching Council standards. Practicum varies but typically includes 2 or more placements in different schools over the duration of a teaching program. So if I summarize this slide, you will be placed to at least 2 or more schools. In those schools, you will have mentors. You will observe different mentors, like 2 or 3 mentors, and you will be then teaching 2 and 3 classes, and then the mentors will observe your teaching and then they will give you the feedback, and then in the end of your placement they give the feedback back to the university. So on the basis of that feedback from both schools, or if these are the 3 schools, on the basis of that feedback your university will decide whether you have passed a practicum or not. If we talk about the length of practicum, then practicum is usually from 14 till 20 weeks, which means your placement in the school where you will be teaching, you will be observing, you will be getting observed, you will be with a mentor teacher. The time duration of that thing is 14 till 20 weeks, which is the practicum duration. And practicum is split across 2 to 3 blocks, which means if you are placed in 2 schools, then it is divided into 2 blocks, which means 7 weeks or 8 weeks for each placement. And if you are placed to the 3 schools, then it will be divided into 3 blocks. So this time duration is actually divided into either 2 or 3 durations, depending upon the university. Now here I have explained that what you are going to do in your first placement and what you are going to do in your second placement mostly. So let's talk about that. So in your first placement, you will spend your days observing your mentor teacher to understand the classroom routines, teaching strategies, and student engagement methods. Trainees gradually assist with small group instruction, supporting classroom activities. Then after that, you have independent teaching. The independent teaching starts in the second placement. So trainees plan and deliver full lessons with the mentor teacher observing and providing feedback. In the final weeks, trainees often lead multiple consecutive lessons or even a full day of teaching independently. Then there is feedback from mentor. So regular check-ins with the mentor teacher for advice and constructive feedback on teaching practice. Emphasis on self-reflection after each lesson to identify strengths and areas for improvement. The number of lessons that you need to do in each week during your practicum, they depend upon the placement and the mentor feedback, but usually the range of lessons is from 5 till 15 lessons, but on average there are 8 to 10 lessons per week that you need to do, including planning and teaching units of work, managing the full lesson cycle, introduction, delivery, assessment. And then you have lesson planning and execution. Trainees are expected to create detailed lesson plans for each lesson, aligning with the curriculum goals. Lessons are assessed on factors like engagement, content, understanding, classroom management, and instructional methods. Now, I will like to bring one important thing in your knowledge at this point. If you see, when you are creating detailed lesson plans, so maintain a portfolio of, most of your lesson plans. Maintain the portfolio of your feedback at the end of each lesson. Maintain the record of the feedback of your mentor, the meetings with your mentor. Maintain the feedback of different classroom activities that you have designed. Write down your reflection on those activities, whether the activity was a hit or a flop, but you could have done better in that activity. Similarly, if you have communicated to the students, if you have given them any feedback, make sure to have the evidence of that feedback as well. So all these things are combined together that you need to prepare and submit to your university as a portfolio, as a practicum portfolio at the end of your practicum induction. So as I have told you earlier, that your mentor teacher will keep on observing you and they will give you the feedback. You may get a visit from your university as well. And the observations will focus on teaching effectiveness, adaptability, and rapport with students. Then assessment components based on the teaching council criteria for teacher competencies, including lesson delivery, assessment of student learning, and professional conduct. Trainees often submit a teaching portfolio document, lesson plans, feedback, reflections, and evidence of student progress. This is same that I have just discussed with you earlier. Now there is one thing that I want to show you. So if you see, I have opened up this website and I will give you the link of these both web pages. These are from the same university, which is Auckland University. And Auckland University is, by the way, one of the prestigious, well-renowned universities of New Zealand. So I'm just quickly going through this. So if you see here, the program overview is given. Points, duration, you can find about more information on this page. If I go to this link, so here these all links are related to the practicum document. I'm going to discuss about aims quickly, so I will click on it. You can go through all these links. So if you see practicum 1 starting from 25th March and ending at 31st May 2024. So this is the duration of practicum 1. And then this is the duration of practicum 2 for this year, 29 July till 13th of September 2024. And then if you see the outcomes, the expected outcomes are given for each practicum. So in practicum 1, pre-service teacher is expected to be at school for the duration of school day from 8:15 till 3:30 at least. Work with 2 or 3 mentor teachers for more than one class. Work with 1 associate teacher in a form teacher role and duty roster, so you need to work as a class teacher as well. Attend briefings regarding the school pastoral and school management policies. Take opportunities to develop an understanding of school structure and those roles of key staff. Complete as appropriate the tasks set by faculty of education lecturers. attend full staff meetings, department meetings as appropriate, although perhaps not all of them over the 7 weeks, complete a timetabled observation teaching load of approximately 12 to 15 hours a week, right? So if you must be teaching 3 different classes and you must have total 12 to 15 hours per week. Build up form teaching part lessons to single lessons to teaching 2 or 3 sequence of 2-3 lessons with each class during the practicum. Ideally follow a pattern of observe. So you need to observe the mentor teacher, then teach a lesson, then observe, then teach a couple of lessons, then observe your mentor teacher again, then teach a sequence of lesson like 3 or 4 lessons, including further opportunity for observation. Have organized practicum documentation that is accessible and professionally maintained. Provide associate teachers with full lesson planning. Seek oral and written feedback. Engage with advice and guidance on weekly basis. Now, if we talk about the practicum 2, so in addition to minimum expectations for practicum 1 and often an initial period of observation, pre-service teachers are expected to increase observation teaching to approximately 15 to 18 hours a week, once again following a pattern of observe the mentor teacher, then teach a lesson, then observe the mentor teacher, then teach a couple of lessons, then observe the mentor teacher and then teach a sequence of lessons, like 3 or 4 lessons, including further opportunity for observation. Build up to teaching several sequences of 3 to 4 lessons with each class during the first 5 weeks of the practicum. In the final 2 weeks of the practicum, demonstrate personal pedagogical practice in curriculum planning and teaching as acknowledged of a beginning teacher. Take responsibility for the teaching of classes. Carry out the full duties expected of a beginning teacher, for example, the class teacher role, playground duties, etc. So these are the things that this university is expecting from their students. So if you see, they are doing 2 practicums, and each practicum 1 and practicum 2 is 7 weeks in duration. In practicum 1, you are supposed to do 12 to 15 hours per week. In practicum 2, you are supposed to do 15 till 18 hours per week. And then they have given you a sequence how you should go. So this is actually practicum. Most of you ask me what is practicum. This is practicum. You can see the information that I have given you in my presentation and then the information from this website. It's almost same. I'm sharing these links. Feel free to go through them and make sure if you have done the practicum same as I have explained, and if you have evidence or if you are planning to do any teaching degree, make sure that you have all this evidence, and your teaching degree must have a practicum which is executed in this way. This is how most of the international countries are expecting the students to do the practicum. I hope you will find this video helpful. If this video is helpful for you, so like the video, subscribe to my channel and share this video with your family and friends, and stay tuned for more useful information on teaching and learning. Thank you.